Kia ora koutou katoa, no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky Koravinda Hunia Tōku Ingoa. Joining me, UFC lightweight Dan Hooker. Kia ora.
My pleasure.
Now look, Dan, we're taking time today to have a little look back at your time at UFC on Sky.
We're having
today.
a reflect.
Yeah. We're having a little deeper meaningfuls today because, we're nearly halfway through the year, so we thought it might be timely to take a look back. But it's been a pleasure having you on the show so far, so thank you so much.
You're too kind. You're too kind. One of the easiest jobs I've ever had.
Good. It's easy. You just come here.
No one's trying to kick me in the head, so it's a lot easier than my other job.
Awesome. Well, look, I was going to say, how have you found it so far? But how have you found it, being able to sit here, talk code, and talk to a few cool people as well?
Yeah, I'd say it's so easy because I come in here, talk to you, I know quite well, and then just talk to my mates on the TV and talk about something I know. So it's, in your it's my hobby as well. It's my passion, it's my hobby, so it's like something I do. So getting the opportunity to just come on here and give my opinion, give my little 2 cents,
Nice. Well, look, we're going to play a wee clip now. And do you remember when we filmed the UFC on Sky promo?
I might have.
Yeah. The ad for this. So people don't really see what goes on behind the scenes. So we're going to give you a quick look at Rav and Dan shooting the UFC on Sky promo. Kia ora, it's UFC on Sky and I've got a new sparring partner. Just need to smile. Look happy. Like we're happy to be here.
Smile.
Do I gesture to him or do I just keep looking down the barrel and he appears?
Do both, yeah. So
Okay.
first time gesture and then we'll do
Okay.
the second one.
Okay. Kia ora, it's UFC on Sky and I've got a new sparring partner.
Roll.
We're talking preparation.
One more then.
We're talking preparation. We're talking fights.
One more.
We're talking fights.
One more.
And we're talking titles.
And we're talking champions.
And we're talking champions.
Are we on the right sides? Or
Do you want to switch sides?
yeah, well, I don't know. He has a yeah. Whatever's natural. Yeah. Me too.
Yep.
Oh God. I need to work on my posture.
And let's just do an alternate where you guys are like slightly back to back a bit.
Like angled, eh? You know what? I think we didn't take too long to shoot that promo either. I think we did that because we did it before filming one of our shows. But we did
Well, one take Jake.
Yeah, you did
One
good.
take Jake.
You did pretty good. Look, how much experience have you had now? I know you have a fighting career and you're training all the time and you're in camp right now. But how much experience have you had now in front of the, the lights and the cameras?
A few hours, but everyone's different, I guess. For me, it's like you kind of just forget the cameras are there, really. My dad's commented and said, it doesn't look like you do much research. I said, Dad, I do no research. I said, I come in here and I speak my mind, but I don't know, it's just a bit more of a Kiwi way to go about things.
Kia ora e te iwi, no mai hoki mai ki UFC on Sky Koravinda Hunia Tōku Ingoa. Joining me, of course, co-host, UFC lightweight Dan.
Official co-host, I've officially got a job, I'm a happy man.
He's on the books, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you came back, you must have had fun last week.
I sure did. I'm gonna get through. I was like, when I show up in jandals and a singlet, I was like, I've got comfortable. So I'm halfway there. It's time to go.
Thank you very much. Also, I like how they don't give Dan any professional uniform to wear. Just rock up in what you want to wear. You do you.
We don't see toes today.
No, very good. I'm proud of you. You're growing up.
Now we're days away from the fight and I'm just trying to get over the jet lag. I'm trying to get used to the sleeping patterns here. I slept last night at about 4 a.m, woke up at 7, so trying to adjust to the times here and at the same time trying to drop the weight. It's tough dropping weight.
But he's so full of crap, bro. He does he switches from Big Macs to cheeseburgers on fight week, and he thinks that that's a weight cut. Don't start with me, son. he did a little bit of a slip and he's torn something in his knee quite bad. So he obviously had to pull out last minute. But lucky enough, he had another UFC heavyweight already in his corner. So his brother Junior has always stepped up to the plate. I don't know if you ever had a fight with a Samoan. Well, you have to fight his brother as well. So it was good. It was good that Junior was there to step up to the plate.
He's got a lot of power in his hands, so just don't hit him and don't get hit.
Oh man, that's a great idea. I try that all the time, mate.
Yeah, you're real good at it too.
50% of the time, it works every time.
I think that's one thing that has caught the eye of our viewers is the fact that you are, you just talk like a Kiwi bloke. I think they see a lot of themselves in you. And don't, you don't wear the collar. You pride yourself on it.
And what I am. It gets itchy. Like I tried for a couple of weeks, but I put a shirt on, it gets itchy, man.
If you haven't noticed.
I work very hard to not put a suit on work incredibly hard to never put a suit on for the rest of my days.
Look, you don't even have your earpiece in today.
No, I hate talking to them. I feel like I'm getting impregnated by aliens. It's like
These are all the things that you don't know about television. There's earpieces, there's microphones, there's all sorts of things. But look, we've been fortunate to not only have these chats, but we've been hitting the news cycle a couple of times too. And it's just...
We do a lot of breaking news just because I know it's not like... People tell me things and I know things and I forget they're a secret. And I'm like... Even the other week when we had Kai on and I was like... Oh, because Manel Cape's fighting Makayev. And I was like, I just said that on the show.
Yep.
And then the next day I was like, breaking news, Manel Cape's fighting Makayev. And I was like, oh, that was a secret? I was like, my bad. So yeah, the unintentional news story breaks, I think we might have to go, yeah, just don't tell me secrets because I forget the secrets.
Don't listen to Dan, keep telling him because we love sharing the news on this show. No, you can spray away. That is fine. That is fine. And look, let's have a look at a couple of your moments of sharing some great secrets here on UFC on Sky.
Unintentional secrets.
Kia ora e te iwi no mai hoki mai ki UFC on Sky Koravinda huni a tōku ingoa. Well, it's official whānau. UFC 305 in Perth is going down August the 18th at RAC Arena. Here to talk with me about it, as always these days, UFC lightweight Dan Hooker and my co-host, kia ora.
Kia ora. Book your tickets, book your flights.
Yeah.
It's go time, baby.
Yep, lock it all in. As predicted, as you told us, you were predicting August, September, but now it's official. The card is going down. I just want to ask you, how much does like the energy or the wairua lift when you know the card is locked in and you're going to get fighters ready to go for this?
Oh, definitely our gym will be buzzing. Things have been moving pretty slow lately. You know, not a lot of guys in action this year this far, but it's just about to pick up. Like it's it's funny. Like MMA is not really a seasonal sport. It's not like we have an off season and an on season. I guess it's just through like injuries and a lot of guys taking time off that it just kind of turned into our own kind of gym's little off season. But everyone's like refreshed, recovered. Everyone's back in the gym. Like Israel, Callouts is fighting, Kev's fighting, they're coming up in May, so it's like the gym's just starting to pick up now, and obviously with this big announcement for this Perth card, and my hunch telling me there will rhymes with lasagna will be
Lasagna.
Yeah, lasagna. We'll be fighting on the card.
Look, talking about upcoming fights, what's happening with you? You're obviously still training, still active, and you haven't fought for, bouncing up a year.
Yeah. So it'll be, I've got a CT scan tomorrow morning, and then I get all clear from the surgeon come next week. And then once I get that all cleared, I can pick my training back. I've always been training, but not like the real. I've been away from sparring, which is my absolute favorite. So I've been really struggling with that. But no, I'll be able to get back in the gym in the next couple of weeks, be training at a full 100%. And then I have my eyes on June, the June International Fight Week.
Any bids in though? You got your eye on anybody?
We'll see. I know it's like I always think I look at the rankings and I go, who does no one want to fight? And, I think Fiziev, I don't think anyone wants to fight for Zeev. So who's probably dumb enough to put their hand up for that fight? The guy over here. Like, I'll probably... But there's a lot of exciting fights. Like, Moicano's coming off a big win. I think I can get that fight in a heartbeat, you know what I mean? And I'll be happy with that Moicano fight. It's an exciting fight. He's definitely won me over as a fan. Yeah, not saying you're anything like you're looking past me or anything like that, but get your call out ready, mate. You know, once you crack the top 10, then you're looking your way into the top 5. So get your call out ready. As Tao Sanan says, your post-fight interview is for picking out your next opponent or picking your next fight. So get it ready, mate. I'm not going to harass you for it now. I know you're not the type of bloke to call people out, but get it ready, brother. Get it in the back pocket, and I'm looking forward to seeing you perform this weekend.
No, thanks. I've definitely thought about it, so I've got somebody in mind already. But yeah,
you gotta tell us.
Go win first. Eh?
You can tell us if you want. We won't tell anybody.
I can tell you, I don't care. I've been telling everybody anyway. So I want to fight Brandon Moreno next. Coming off 2 losses. I'm obviously on the way up. I feel like that'll be a good clash. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I look forward to it. Like, who would be your ideal matchup for Perth?
So ideal matchup. There's a few.
I'm teeing it up, but I already know what I want him to say.
There's a few people that I've seen Amir talking a lot about this title fight that just happened in the weekend, saying it was boring. You know, the champ's telling people to stay seated, stay in their seats while I'm doing my post-fight speech. And then I message Amir on one of his posts saying, "Sweet bro, if you you bet me once, so if you're that confident, let's run it back in Perth." But no reply either. So I guess I don't have an opponent there. But if not, I feel like Steve would be a great dance partner. I was impressed. I even messaged him, said, "You should be proud of that performance." Yeah. So there's no animosity when it comes to Anzacs or guys from this side of the world. It's just you got to give props where it's due. But yeah, that's the fight game. You're going to fight everyone, so it's nothing personal. It's all business. So if he wants to do it, then I guess this is the one to book.
It's funny. I got another funny story. I heard that Menafield's brother, he comes storming up to Callouts when they got back to the hotel, like, lucky punch. Like, it was a lucky punch.
There were a few.
And all the boys were like, hey. But then UFC security stepped in. Apparently Menafield's brother hit one of the UFC security as well. Calm down, boys. Calm down. It's only a first fight.
Look, talking about next performances, what is happening with you, Dan?
Oh, me?
What is happening with you? We know you're in camp. We know you're working. What's going on?
We'll be in Perth with the boys. I think, yeah. From looking around the gym, obviously, there's talks at Israel. It'll be myself, Israel and Kai coming up with UFC Perth. So, yeah, I've got my eyes on Perth. Couldn't get an opponent for the McGregor card in June. So the next thing I have eyes on is obviously the Perth card. So I'm preparing for that. It'll be exciting. It'll be fun being in the gym with Izzy. It'll be fun being in the gym with Kai and all getting able to prepare together. Might have hinted an opponent, but we'll have to save that for another day, I believe.
Watch this space, whānau. Dan Hooker featuring on the Perth card. So that'll be very exciting. And I mentioned this to you before that, the home crowd has been wanting Dan Hooker to fight back down on this side of the earth, and asking you shall receive.
Yeah, Diane. It's what the universe wanted. It's what the universe gets.
Some great moments from Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker Gold, I called that segment, actually. So thank you so much for that. But, it's not all, busting secrets and having a laugh. There's a lot of technical chat that goes on at this table as well. We've had, some pretty good guests like Sean O'Malley, Justin Gaethje, where you have gotten into it with them. You already mentioned that you told Dad that you don't do your research. But what information are you looking for? Or is it just, when you're having a conversation with someone, you're like, oh, yeah, I want to ask them.
Oh, 1,000% winging it. That's genuine intrigue. Because I think that's it. That's how it makes it flow a bit more natural. If I write down a bunch of questions, it's like I'll get frozen in the questions. I'll probably just completely forget about them anyway. So it's like, he'll talk, Gaethje will talk, and those are genuine questions on how I think that he's going to deal with certain aspects. So yeah, it's just genuine intrigue.
Yeah, and there was a moment with Justin Gaethje where you were starting to talk about technical and how Max Holloway was going to move in a fight and and you two just went like nerding out about it. And I was just sitting here going, this is awesome. This is great. This is something that
Does this shirt have my name on it?
Yes, it does.
I just realised I don't even know where I got this from, but I think this is like an actual walkout shirt for the UFC. Yeah, I think this might be the Felder one.
Look, this is where conversations go, Whānau. We're talking technical.
But like, there's so much like actual like collector stuff that I actually don't have anywhere. I just keep them in my.
Well, let's talk about your collector stuff. How much collectibles do you have?
I have 21.
You're 10 years this year.
I have 10. I have 10 posters that I've framed.
Yeah.
And they're in a stack in my garage. Yeah. And I have another 11 that I've never even got around to framing, and they're just in the tubes. I've got like a big plastic box with 21 pairs of UFC gloves that I've fought in, that I think I might do something with one day. I think the Felder shirt just went through the wash, and now I'm wearing it here because I grabbed it out of
That's pretty clean.
I grabbed it out of my cupboard, but
it's a nice shirt. It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, we're Reebok.
It's got Reebok on it. Oh my God, we're going to get into trouble. Sorry, Venom. But yeah, okay. Technical chat. Let's get back onto it. Here is a few looks at Dan Hooker having some technical chat with our guests.
Winging it chat. Yeah. No, well, that's like what I was saying, kind of leading into the fight. And from the outside, from mine looking in, like the biggest difference between you and Cheeto's first fight is just that, man, you've just been on an absolute tear ever since then. You've just been, and that's, as a fighter, where that balance comes from, because you always have like, I'll call it like a constant battle between like confidence and arrogance. Like you need a bit of both, but it needs to be like a constant balance. But now, ever since there, like knocking out Aljamain Sterling, beating Peter Yan, it's like now you have that cold, hard evidence, especially having the belt, the cold hard evidence that you are the best fighter in the world, and everything you did believe, you have facts, you have supporting evidence behind that. So I feel like now going into those big high pressure situations, especially a pay-per-view main event title fight, you're so much more composed under those lights, you're so much more composed under that pressure, and I feel like Cheeto hasn't really risen to that same kind of level, and I don't feel like he's going to be as comfortable under those lights, or uncomfortable now that the pressure cooker is going to be turned up to as high as you can possibly turn it up. We haven't seen him perform to the same level that you have been able to perform under those lights.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going out there and having a war like I had with Peter Yan, getting the nod there, and then knocking out Aljamain Sterling just, kind of confirmed my belief in what my skills and capabilities are. And before that, I fought good guys, Thomas Almeida, Eddie Wineland, Paulian Paiva. Like, I had these big wins, these big knockouts, but they weren't the best guys in the world. So to go out there and do it back-to-back against Peter Yan, who I still believe is one of the scariest dudes in the division, and Aljamain Sterling, who I believe is the greatest bantamweight of all time, it's hard to not be confident in that. And I love shining bright under the lights. I truly believe the more people, the more eyeballs, the better I'm going to perform. And yeah, who knows? I'm going to show up. We don't know for sure 100% if Cheeto's going to show up, because we've seen him not show up against guys. So I like my odds.
Because I'm a bit of a fight nerd, it's more of like a technical question. I think, Max always heavy on that front leg. Your calf kicks or low kicks are, like, in my opinion, are some of the heaviest and most dangerous in the game. And then Max obviously relies on like a lot of volume and a lot of pressure, but I don't think he'll be able to walk through your punches the way he's walked through a lot of other fighters. Like, how do you think Max tries to get to you? Do you feel like Max changes his game a little bit and tries to clinch you, or what do you think the variables are going to be in this fight?
Yeah, time will tell. I honestly don't know. I think, Tony Ferguson had that same kind of style where he really pushes forward and tries to throw a lot of strikes, a lot of punches, a lot of elbows. And I was able to, keep him away by throwing so much power and being so accurate with my shots. I think the leg kicks are going to be a factor. It's just something I can't go out there fishing for. Yeah. I've done that in the past and just been too heavy on that attack, and it's really got me in trouble sometimes. I think the most important thing is going to be to control range, control his feet, make sure I'm leading the dance, and make sure his feet are never set when he tries to start these combinations, and not get caught on my back foot. If I get caught on my back foot, getting pushed backwards, it's going to be a long night for me.
See, you do technical check. There's some good moments in there. There's some good moments in there, and we've had some really cool people on the show this year as well, including Bruce Buffer. That was a pretty cool little added tidbit. But was there a favourite moment for you this year so far?
I like talking to Kai. I like talking to Kai. I did like doing that because he didn't shut up the whole time. So I mean, I didn't even have to say anything. They could have put a cardboard cutout on me here. Easiest paycheck I've had of the week, brother. So we're gonna have Kai Kara-France on the show every single week.
Yes, absolutely. If there's anything to do with flyweights, he is on the show. Well, you did actually bring out the call out for the Steve Usyk, so you did come of use in that episode.
I did draw that out. That was my one sentence of the.
You made it on MMA Junkie off that.
Hey, I'm a regular.
They're always looking for Dan Hooker Gold. What my favourite moment be? I think my favourite moment would have to be Bruce Buffer. That was pretty cool. Whānau, our first guest ahead of UFC 300 is synonymous with the UFC, and although he spent a lot of time inside the octagon, yet to chuck on the UFC gloves. You might know where I'm going with this. His voice is known around the world to excite not only fight fans, but fighters. Joining me now is UFC announcer Bruce Buffer. Kia ora, Bruce, and welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Pleasure to be on. I really appreciate it.
It is so great to see. It's actually I feel like it's a little bit different hearing your voice just talking normally as opposed to announcing in the octagon.
You know, give me a microphone, which I have right here, but I can modulate any way you want. But I'm only human. Got to talk normal from time to time. I'm saving it all for Saturday. It's too big a show. Talk
to us about how you prepare your voice and keep it healthy, because, you know, with all the voice projection, the tone and all those sorts of elements to your job, I can imagine it would be quite demanding.
Well, you know, the trick is to stay healthy. I mean, your body's your tool, your body's your temple. Feed it, nourish it, just like the oil you put in your car or the gas you put in your car. But at the same time, I don't do anything that's going to damage my voice. So I don't smoke. I don't irritate my throat. I've got my honey and my mentholistis lozenges on the table during the show. Drink a lot of water, stay hydrated. But I never rehearse. I make sure I have the names down phonetically and have them all correct. When I spend the 2 to 4 hours preparing my fight cards that it takes for each show, I'm analyzing and, you know, memorizing. And that's why you rarely see me look at my cards when I'm in the octagon, other than, you know, reading sponsors' notes and making sure I get all that correctly, judges and referees and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't become repetition, but there's kind of a process that you've built now, right?
Yeah, it's a process. You know, it's kind of automatic. It's on auto drive. And I know exactly what I have to do. But the main thing is, no matter what I do before a fight, no matter how much I prepare, whatever the case might be, the moment I step in the octagon, the moment I feel the energy of the great fans that we have, which are the greatest fans in the world, mixed martial arts, UFC fans, their energy gets me going. So the more energy I get from them, the more I'm going to put into it. You know, either I'm introducing in front of 150 people at the Vegas UFC Apex Center, which we started doing during the COVID times, or I'm in a huge arena. Like I'll be in Perth when I come down there this year, and like I'm this weekend at T-Mobile, sold out, and the fans will be going absolutely out of their minds, and it's my job to keep them going out of their minds, aside from the excitement they're going to get watching the great warriors do what they do.
It's pretty cool to talk to. I know he's you know, presenting the fights and hosting and all of that, but it's cool to talk to another broadcaster and get there.
Yeah, once you do actually talk to him, and you realise that how important it is for him, like how big of a fan he is of the sport, and like how much planning and preparation actually goes into those moments. It's not like he's just comes in and does the announcing and goes home. Like, he's a genuine fan of the sport, so it's like very cool how insightful he was about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though I was trying to get some secret tips that he wouldn't really give me, I was like, you know, how do you keep your voice in check and blah, blah. And he's like, oh, yeah, I drink some, honey, or whatever. But no, that was, absolutely my favourite moment. But look, there could be some more great moments coming up next, because UFC 302 is the next major pay-per-view event. It's your division in the spotlight. Islam Makhachev up against Dustin Poirier. Your thoughts?
It's a tall test for Poirier, just in stylistically, like how he does against the strong wrestlers. Yeah, stylistically, I think it's obviously favoured towards Makhachev this fight, but I'm backing Dustin 100%. You know, it's only feather left in his cap is the UFC title. It's the only thing that he has not been able to tick off the list and achieve. And I feel like, from what I hear, he's dragging his daughter out for that fight. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting. There's win or lose. There's not much left. He has left to prove in the sport. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why he's bringing his daughter is because he's looking to step away after this fight.
Oh, that's a big call. But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Now that you put it like that, yeah, absolutely makes sense. But look, 302, available now on Sky Arena and Sky Sport. Now the co-main event is Sean Strickland up against Paulo Costa, so it's going to be such a great card. But Dan, thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure.
Too easy.
And nice to go back into the memory bank, into the archives, and look at all the mahi you've done so far.
Thank you.
Whānau, get booking now. UFC 302, that goes down Sunday, June the 2nd. 8.9.